Good year. Thank you, Rabbi. A complete internal situation, right? That's leave. Now you can start to reveal. Right. Correct. 32 is also the gematria of kavod. Kavod. So we're learning Torah 32 in Likutei Moharan now, which has to do with the connection between the verse Hashem Sivsai Tiftach and dancing at a wedding. And it's in honor of Lippy's wedding, so people can have good insight while they're dancing, and also because of my 32nd birthday. It all works out. L'shoin Rabbeinu Zichron Levracha, Hashem Sivsai Tiftach, right from Tehillim, v'hu b'chinas rikudin shel chasuna, ki kol zman shelo yisuna lezivug, he is kriyas na'ar b'loi hey, gematria shach dinim. Okay, so Hashem Sivsai Tiftach, what we say before we start, I just want to say, this corresponds to the dancing at a wedding. This is because as long as the bride has not been given for union, she is called a naira, a maiden, and this is spelled without a hey. Okay, and this is numerically equivalent to 320 judgments. We have to understand what that means. V'chad is taknas lezivug is kriyas naira behei shenim takin hadinim al yidei Hashem alfin shel ekia shebabina kamuva b'fri etzchaim shar amida. But when she is rectified for union, she's called a naira with a hey. With the hey. The judgments are mitigated by means of the 5 olives of Ekia. Okay, don't get crazy about what we're saying. Just know that she went from no hay to a hay. How that happens, we can discuss that. We elicit the 5. Hay is 5, so we elicit that 5 through 5 ones, right? Like you can pay someone $5 with a $5 bill, or you can pay them with 5 $1 bills. It's equivalent. So you get the hay by 5 olives, okay? And you draw that down from the level of Bina. And this is brought down from Pri Chaim Shar Amida, and that's Chaim Vital, the prime disciple of the Arizal. Okay. Nimsa hakala adain bivchinois nar bivchinas shach dinim tzarich lam tika lisakna. Okay. Thus, the bride is still in the category of a naira, meaning a maiden, the 320 judgments, and must be mitigated and rectified. Meaning, in order for her to be ready to be married, she has to mitigate the level of judgments, right, which is associated with the number 320. Again, that's a Kabbalistic thing. And that's the gematria of the word naira without a hay. And we do that by making her naira with a hay. And that hay is ultimately what allows us to mitigate the judgments on her. And this is achieved. Okay, but this is the part where that's interesting. This is achieved primarily by what? By dancing at a wedding. See, you knew there was something special about dancing at a wedding. You just didn't know what it was. Okay, this is achieved by dancing because the legs correspond to netzach and hod. They are lifted up by the heart through the joy of the heart, right? Why do you lift up your legs? Because your heart is joyous, so they allow the legs to be lifted up. This is seen empirically that through the joy of the heart we dance, as is written about Yaakov. Okay, what does it say about Yaakov? Vayisa Yaakov es raglav uferish Rashi liboy nas es raglav v'leiv hu bina k'moshkasiv bina liba uva halev mevin. Okay, that Yaakov lifted up his legs. Literally, and me and my dad do this dance, right, where you both kind of kick, right? Same idea. And Rashi explains that his heart carried his legs. And the heart is Bina. As is written, Bina is the heart, and with it, the heart understands. Okay, there you go. Bina is the heart. Where's Bina? And Bina is Chabad, though. Chabad is in the brain. So the brain also has some real estate in the heart. Al kol tzarich lechavin birikudim. Lahamshich ha'alfin shebalev al yidei haraglin lakala. Shehi bechinas chamish pa'amim din gematria shach. Gematria nar al yidei or halev shenimshach la na'aseis naira behi v'na'aseis hey pa'amim adnos. Okay. Therefore, one has to intend while dancing to draw the olives in the heart to the bride by means of the legs. Okay, so what does the naira need without a hay? She needs to get to the naira with a hay, meaning she needs to, because naira without a hay is 320, which corresponds to strict judgment. Okay, we don't have to say exactly why that is right now, but just know 320 is associated with strict judgment. And the way to mitigate that is by drawing down 5 olives from the level of Bina. And we do that by lifting up our legs through dancing at a wedding. So when we're dancing at a wedding, we're actually dancing for the bride to make her ready to get married. and mitigate the judgment, the strict judgment, which is miracle equivalent to 320 and to naira. And through the light of the heart that is drawn to her, she becomes a naira with the hay and 5 times oddness. Okay, so now we're adding a new idea. We're saying that level of 325, which is the mitigation of judgments, the sweetening of the judgments, because we've drawn down the 5 olives from Bina, is also 5 times oddness. Let's see, is that true? Oddness is, Aleph Dalet is 5, Nun is 50, 55, and Yud is 10, 65. 65 times 5, right? 60 times 5 is 300. 5 times 5 is 25. 325, there you go. And you can take that right to the bank. This is the meaning of Hashem, open my lips, right? We say this when we take 3 steps back, through the lips, which are Netzach and Hod. Okay, so we said the leg, Netzach and Hod is the legs, but it's also the lips, right? What are the lips of the head, let's say? Or the lips of the higher faculties would be, what are the legs of the higher faculties? They would be the lips, right? They carry the speech, let's say, in its final manifestation. The bride is opened and mitigated in the aspect of union. She becomes the aspect of Odnai, Naira, fitting for union. Okay, so here's the connection. So we said we need to turn 320, which is strict judgment, into 325 by lifting up the legs, Netzach and Hod, during dancing, and that draws down the 5 that she needs to become a naira with a hay, and that corresponds to the name Adonai, right? Aleph Dalet Nun Yud that we say at the start of Shemona Esrei, that has the gematria of 5 times. That 5 times Adonai is 325, and that makes her fitting for union. Bized de Isa b'midrash kishanasa. Kishanasa Yaakov es Leah. Bishash shahayu miraktin, hayu mizamrin, haya laya. Oh, this is very interesting. Lirmois liyakov haleya. Okay, this is what is found in the Medrash in Bereshis Rabbah 17:19. See, you don't need to listen to podcasts. You just need to read Medrash to hear interesting things. At the wedding of Yaakov and Leah, while the people were dancing, they sang "Hey Leah" to hint to Yaakov that this is Leah. This reminds me of a scene from the movie Spy Kids, right, where they hid a message in this children's program, right? You just have to play it backwards, and it gives the message directly. So here, when they were dancing at the wedding, they were saying, hey, Leah, right? Like, wink, wink. This is not Rachel. This is Leah. This is very interesting. I never heard this before for learning this Torah. This is because Leah is the hidden world, right? Corresponding to the heart, right? The heart, as in my heart, I have hidden away your word. From there comes the mitigation of the judgments when the hay is drawn from the heart. Okay, from the level of Leah. This is the meaning of hey, Leah. That one must draw the olives from Leah, and Leah is the heart, in order to mitigate and rectify the bride. They were also saying that the bride's name is Leah, who through her own aspect is mitigated. Okay. I think that's it for this. That's it. Let me just see. I have a sefer here, the sefer. Let's see if there's anything we can add just to clarify. If anybody has any questions, please put them in the chat. That'll be very groovy. Okay, we'll stop here for tonight.